We know love by this, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for one another. How does God's love abide in anyone who has the world's goods and sees a brother or sister in need and yet refuses help? I think these verses and those that echo them are the foundation for any true understanding of Christ. Laying down our lives for one another is what all of Jesus' teachings are really about. If you don't lay down your life to help someone else, then you aren't following the most basic and greatest commandments. I'd like to start with a couple definitions. To lay down one's life means to sacrifice one's life for a cause. And sacrifice is an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or worthy. So to lay down one's life is to give up your life, that is, put your own life aside as a secondary matter, and make others' lives your priority. Help others before you help yourself. Obviously, this is what Jesus spent his whole life doing, so obviously it is what he would wish us to do. Next, I'd like to talk about a couple people I know who have laid down their lives for me and how they model what God wishes us to do. I wouldn't be the person I am now if others hadn't laid down their life for me. The person who has most affected my life is my grandmother, Alice. She was just a recently retired grandmother when my siblings and I got pulled away from our home by Child Protective Services. She immediately started searching for us, and as soon as they would let her, took us in. She entered her retired life to once again become a full-time mom. She laid down her life to help us like no one had ever done for us before. She got us the best help she could find and helped us to recover from a very bad situation into not normal kids, but kids that had an actual chance to be great people. She is one of the best role models anyone could have for someone who lays down their own life for the help of others. Another great example is someone who helped me even though they weren't my family, and they welcomed me in a way that no one had done before. My 4th grade teacher, Mr. Cook. No one else around me at the time really knew what to make of me. Mr. Cook, however, knew exactly what I needed most in my life. Someone who would simply accept me and all my weirdness, while realizing he couldn't treat me the same as everyone else, because I wasn't the same as everyone else. He was one of the first to recognize that I had somehow managed to exceed all the other kids my age in my reading and understanding skills. He realized that I wasn't very good at talking to other kids, but I interacted well when talking to adults. He helped to get me really situated in my life. In short, Mr. Cook laid down his life to help me and all of his students. We know love by this, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for one another.
Amen.